This is the William F. Miles Trailhead, just a short walk down from the community gardens, and the starting point for today's journey into the parks. The garden is beautiful today. You can peer over the fence and see how different community members have decided to develop their gardens. A little past it are the silos. From here, you can see the garden gateway and the entrance to the park off of Shelbyville Road. If you start down the trail, you can almost immediately see one of the William F. Miles lakes, our next stop on this video. Here we are at the William F. Miles Lakes, just a little further down the road. These lakes are a great spot to relax and enjoy the scenery, and also the fish. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife stocks Angler Lake and Green Heron Lake regularly with trout and catfish, so those are the ones you want to target. There are very few natural lakes in Kentucky. Thousands of years ago, when the glaciers retreated, they carved up land further north, creating lakes in the holes left behind. But the glaciers never reached Kentucky, so it was up to the people here to create their own lakes, which they did. The layer of shale rock in the region keeps water from seeping through the soil and drying up the lake. These lakes were made by people, but they are used by an abundance of species, such as the cattails, amphibians, and of course, fish that rely on them. To learn when the lakes are stocked with fish, look in the Trailhead kiosks by the W.F. Miles Lakes and the N.Beckley paddling access. Welcome to the Koppice Woods. We'll start our journey into them today on the Koppice Woods Trail. The trailhead is right off the main park road next to the Miles Lakes and N.Beckley paddling access. If you're not familiar with the term coppicing, one look around these woods will probably help you guess its meaning. A coppice tree means a single tree that has multiple trunks. It occurs when a tree is downed, either by events like fires or by animal or human activity. Here, we can look closely at these trees to try to understand what happened to them. Coppice trees grow from around the edges of the original trunk of the tree. By looking at the space in between the newer trunks, we see that the tree was 10 to 15 inches in diameter. This tells us that the trees were young, mature trees. The uniform age and the extent to which the trees have been cut tells us that the trees were logged and used for their wood. From core samples of the new trees, we know that they're around 100 years old and were logged in the early 1900s. This is the N.Beckley paddling access. It's downhill from the main park road in Beckley Creek Park. This is one of the 4 paddling accesses currently open. Paddling is a great way to get up close to Floyd's Fork, the natural stream that the Parklands traces. Floyd's Fork is a freshwater stream and a tributary of the Salt River. It's 62 miles long, and the Floyd's Fork watershed, or the area where all the water drains into Floyd's Fork, covers almost 300 square miles. Floyd's Fork has more tributaries, all with smaller watersheds, which all combine to make the Floyd's Fork watershed, which, in turn, is part of the Mississippi watershed. Floyd's Fork's presence has shaped the area. Water makes the environment livable for humans, animals, and plants alike. Floyd's Fork is home to many species, including fish, amphibians like salamanders, turtles, and freshwater mussels. We're standing on the bridge that connects the country walk to the festival promenade in the Humana Grande Allee. It's the ideal place to view the Allee Wetlands, the restored wetland area in Beckley Creek Park. This area is low and flat, part of the Floyd's Fork floodplain. The floods deposited sediments in this area, and years of flooding in the area left a buildup of soils that were rich with nutrients, making them ideal for farming. It is for this reason that in the past, the wetlands in this area were drained so the land could be farmed. In the 200 years following the creation of the United States, Kentucky lost over 80% of its original wetlands. Now the land is returning to its natural wetland state, and wetland wildlife is following it.